Hello, Trailblazers.
Click right here. Let's make sure you're nice.
Hello, hello, hello. You know, I've got some assistants with me. You know I do. Hello, Trailblazers.
Click right here. Let's make sure you're nice.
Hello, hello, hello. You know, I've got some assistants with me.
There you go.
You know I do. Awesome. Now we're live. Hello, Trailblazers. So we want to go ahead and get started today. Let us know that you're here in the chat with us. Let us know. Thank you so much for being here today. I am super excited to share our 3-year academic recovery plan with all of you today. Again, thank you for being here, and let us know in the chat that you are here today. This is our first of many town hall meetings for the upcoming school year. We want to make certain that you have this information as quickly as possible, and all the information that we have today, we're going to make certain that you have it as well. Again, we are here to discuss our Atlanta Public Schools 3-year academic recovery plan. We're going to talk about why we have this plan, what is entailed in the plan, and how we're going to implement our 3-year academic recovery plan beginning this school year. So why are we implementing a 3-year academic recovery plan in APS? Well, there are several reasons why we have decided to implement this 3-year academic recovery plan. Number one, you all know, we all know, we have gone through and we are still going through the COVID-19 pandemic. But as a result of all of the missed opportunities that we may have had we been in a physical space, it is important for us to get very aggressive and create a greater sense of urgency around ensuring that we are not only closing gaps, but we are accelerating the learning for all of our students. We also know that a lot of our children were not a part of physical learning in our school district. In our school district, over 60% of our scholars were not physically present. At Harper Archer, we were almost 40%, 42, 43% of our scholars were physically present, at least from March until May, but that's not enough. And we want to make certain that we are implementing this plan beginning this summer to ensure that our scholars are successful. We also know that prior to the pandemic, we still had some gaps in our learning outcomes for our scholars. So now we have a greater sense of urgency to ensure that we're accelerating learning and we're closing those gaps and we're intervening on their behalf, specifically around academics and the whole child as we begin next school year. It is important to us that all of our scholars are successful, and all means all. And from a historical perspective, we also know that it is important for us to ensure that we have community engagement in this process. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we engaged our APS community throughout this process. So what's included in the 3-year academic recovery plan? You may be asking yourself. I'm going to tell you. Approximately 26,000 scholars, K-12 scholars, are eligible for academic intervention based on their academic progress last school year and before, as well as not being physically present in school. There are 3 components in our 3-year APS academic recovery plan. K-12 Universal Screener in English Language Arts and Mathematics, and that means that we're going to assess our scholars specifically in literacy and mathematics at least 3 times out of the school year so that we can determine what our scholars know and what they have not learned yet. And so that we can be responsive in a timely manner to address some of those things that they may not have learned yet. Another component of our academic recovery plan is the Summer Academic Recovery Academy. Some of our scholars are participating at Usher Collier Heights, at Usher Collier Elementary School this summer, the month of June. We have almost 300 scholars that were enrolled for our Summer Academic Recovery Academy at Usher. And throughout the district, we had over 11,000 scholars enrolled in our Summer Academic Recovery Academy. And this is a part of our 3-year plan. For the next 3 years, we will have our Summer Academic Recovery Plan that focuses on literacy and mathematics as well as enrichment. And then the third component of our 3-year APS Academic Recovery Plan is our required school-based intervention or academic enrichment course. Next school year, elementary school scholars will have a minimum of 30 minutes of intervention at least 4 days per week. I'm going to say that again because it's going to come up when we also talk about our bell schedule. The required school-based intervention or enrichment course in elementary schools must have at least 30 minutes and 4 days per week. And that will be in literacy and mathematics. The American Rescue Plan 2021 Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund is federal funding. And it requires that all school districts reserve at least 20% of the funds to ensure that we are implementing evidence-based interventions, summer learning or enrichment, extended day and school year programs, as well as comprehensive after-school programs. So that means that we have set aside in Atlanta Public Schools at least 20% of our federal funds to ensure that our programs, our interventions are evidence-based, that we provide summer learning and enrichment for our scholars, that's our summer ARA, and that we have an extended day. I know you're waiting. We're going to talk about it in just a moment, that we have an extended day and that we are able to address some comprehensive after-school programs as well, fund some comprehensive after-school programs as well. And this plan, this relief fund also requires that we are responsive, not only to our scholars' academic progress and growth, but also their social and emotional needs. And inside this plan, it also says that our funds must have an impact on certain subgroups. So how will we implement this 3-year academic recovery plan in Atlanta Public Schools? Well, number one, we wanted to make certain that we have community voice. And community voice comprises of all stakeholders. Our GO teams had an opportunity to be heard at town hall meetings. Our gifted population, our ESOL population, our students with disabilities population, parents, teachers, administrators, all of us had a voice in how we implement our academic recovery plan. APS engaged multiple groups. I just want to repeat that over and over again because you're going to see some data in just a second. APS engaged multiple groups in determining how we implement this plan. Now, the survey results. There were 2 options on the table, option A and option B. Option A had a bell schedule where we added those extra 30 minutes that I just talked about as a part of as a component of our academic recovery plan. Option A talked about 8:30 until 3:30 for elementary schools. Option B said 7:45 until 2:45. And so the survey stayed open for weeks. Our parents, so 62% of parents and guardians actually filled out the survey. 3.59% of the people who completed the survey came from the Douglas cluster. Harper Archer Elementary School is in the Douglas cluster. So I want to stay there for 1 second. This is a shameless plug, but I'm going to say it. It is critically important. It is critically important that our voices are heard. Only 3.59% of the Douglas cluster participants in this survey, only 3.59% of the participants were from the Douglas cluster. It is important that when we have an opportunity for our voices to be heard, that our voices are heard. And one of the ways that you can ensure that our voices are heard is when you complete surveys that are given out. So I just want to make certain that I say that. Now, 72.79% of the people who took the survey throughout Atlanta Public Schools chose option B. In addition, that means that elementary school for next school year will begin at 7:45 a.m. and end at 2:45 p.m. I'm going to repeat that at least 3 times because I want to make certain that you hear it. Elementary school will begin throughout Atlanta Public Schools at 7:45 a.m. School begins at 7:45 a.m. School begins at 7:45 a.m. That means we have started our morning routines and our learning at 7:45 p.m. That means our scholars need to be at school no later than 7:45 a.m. Did I just say p.m.? It's not p.m. 7:45 a.m. Our scholars need to be at 3399 Collier Drive no later than 7:45 a.m. That is very, very important. We must ensure that 100% of our scholars are in school each day no later than 7:45 a.m. That is a change for us. And I need to make certain that you hear me because I need you there. We need you there. We need you there. And then also, I'm sure you're wondering, what does that mean for transportation, APS buses? Perhaps transportation schedules will be provided to you before day one, as we have done in the past. You have gotten those directly from the transportation office. Those transportation schedules, as soon as they are finalized, will be arriving directly to you if you are using APS school bus or APS transportation to get to school. Please make certain that you make note of this change. Please make certain that you make note of this change and you are arranging with your family how to ensure that our scholars arrive to school no later than 7:45 a.m. Now let's review just to make certain that you've gotten all of this great information, and some of this information is new to you, and I want to make certain that you have it. Number one, our APS academic recovery plan is 3 years. This is a 3-year plan, at least 3 years. This is a 3-year plan. There are 3 components to the APS academic recovery plan. The K-12 Universal Screener, again, that is administered at least 3 times per school year. Also, our Summer Academic Recovery Academy, ARA, we started that this summer, June 2nd through June 30th. This summer, it will happen for the next 2 summers because, again, this is a 3-year plan. And then also a part of that academic recovery plan is our new bail schedule. School starts for elementary school scholars at 7:45. We begin at 7:45. So our scholars need to be at school no later than 7:45 a.m. Monday through Friday. Now, that's a lot of information, and a lot of that is new, and you're wondering how are we going to get this done? I do not want you to forget that we are trailblazers, all of us. We are bold, we are loving, we are accountable, we are zealous, and we are empathetic. And because we are trailblazers, we've got this. I guarantee you, we've got this. Now, a couple things I want you to know before we leave. Open house, August 4th, 9 to 11 a.m. Mark your calendar. Open house is August 4th, 9 to 11 a.m. The first day of school is the next day, August 5th, and it begins at 7:45 a.m. The first day of school for every scholar in Atlanta Public Schools, especially those trailblazers, every scholar starts on day 1. Every scholar starts school on day 1, especially trailblazers. And we are at school no later than 7:45 a.m. And as always, you can always reach out to us. We keep our website updated, www.hayestrailblazers.com. And you can always call us at the school at 404-802-8500. Any questions that you may have, if you want us to be thought partners with you, you want us to help you solve some problems and remove any barriers that we can, please reach out to us. We are here for you. We are here for you. Thank you so much for attending and listening in to our academic Academic Recovery Plan Town Hall. This is the first of many town halls. Please, 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 if you know that your neighbors, if you know other trailblazers that did not attend our town hall this evening, make certain that you tell them to hop on over to our YouTube channel so that they can get this information as quickly as possible. And again, we are trailblazers. We've got this. Don't forget that I love you, love you, love you. I miss you already. And please reach out to us if you have any questions. We're here for you. Thank you so much for attending this evening.